Now the topic, as you can see, the topic is that how to examine the structural models with the help of Amos and Smart PLS. So today we are going to discuss the issues in testing the structural model with both the softwares. So let me show you. So one thing that you need to understand is structural equation modeling. Whether you are doing it with Amos or whether you are doing it with PLS is actually for hypothesis testing or theory testing. So this is not a theory building exercise, or this is actually a theory testing exercise. So this is one of the confusions that I have seen the research scholars are having. And by without understanding the importance of theory, they want to apply SAM. I have seen many cases when without any logical background, without having any literature support, they are trying to apply the SAM. And the most problematic thing is that nobody raised question on that. I remember one incident, and I would like to share at this time. I consult one PhD of one of the top institute of India. That institute comes in the top 5 institute of the India. The top 5 institutes of India. And the scholar was struggling in completing the PhD because of the SAM. So without having any theory, I applied the structural equation modeling in that topic. And after that, the scholar submitted the thesis. And according to the procedure of the institute, the thesis goes to the top scholars of the country. So one of the thesis goes to FMS for evaluation, and one of the thesis goes to IIM Lucknow, and one of the thesis goes to IIT Delhi. And according to the procedure, all the 3 professors comes to take the viva. And you may not what I say, you may be surprised to know that they were very happy after looking these structural equation modeling in the thesis. And the scholar is now a professor, is one of the best institute of Delhi NCR. And most of the time, my scholars told me that person now coming as a panel member in most of the universities, and whenever he saw the SAM in the thesis, he feel very happy. So this is the story of SAM. Okay, and in one of my friend was working with some institute, and I applied SAM first time in his thesis, and even today his thesis was framed in the showcase in the university. Okay, so that the SAM is so interesting, but actually now I'm telling you this is all wrong. You should apply SAM when you have the theory. If you don't have the theory, don't go for SAM. Because recently I came across a few viva where the panel members say, what is the basis of your hypothesis? So now I want to tell you one thing. Hypothesis is the next theory. If you believe me, if you believe the hypothesis, all the hypotheses that you are forming, all the hypotheses that you are testing will be the next theory. Or we can also say the theory is coming from the hypothesis. So hypothesis leads to theory, and theory is the outcome of the hypothesis testing. So if one hypothesis is tested by many scholars and found the same result, it becomes the theory. So whenever you design a hypothesis in the study, it must be supported by the literature review. This is the comment I got from many researchers nowadays. So earlier the story was different, but now the story was different. Now the story is, if you have the logical or if you have the literature support, then you should apply a structural equation model, otherwise not. I hope you understand this concept. So if you are applying structural equation modeling, so try to find out some literature support. Otherwise, if some academicians will be the panel member of your thesis, or you are submitting the paper for publication, they may reject you. They may reject the paper because there is no theoretical support in the paper. It will be rejected. Fine. So now I am going to the next slide. So basically, these two pictures I am showing you, this is the structural equation modeling in Amos, and this is the structural model in PLS. So in both the models, the data is same, everything is same. Now a result you can see, like for example, this path coefficient is 69 and this path coefficient is 62. Similarly, this path coefficient is 29, 14, 44, and this path coefficients are 30, 14, 39. So you cannot say that both SEM and PLS are giving you the same result. This is not true, right? So, but because there are different conditions when we apply Amos and SEM, so we should be very careful. In this diagram, you can see that there is a curved arrows representing the correlation between the construct, and these constructs are independent construct known as exogenous construct. But in PLS we cannot apply correlation between them. So there is no provision of correlation in PLS, but in Amos you can join this correlation, and believe me, if you join the correlations, the model fit will improve. The model fitness will improve in the structural equation model. And I'm telling you one more thing, because recently I came across with many reviewers from the paper. So somebody, not somebody, at least 3 scholars sent their papers for publication, and they got the answer, they got the review that you must add all of your exogenous construct by the double-sided curved arrow. So this is the one of the demand of the reviewers, that you should connect all of your independent constructs or exogenous constructs by the double-sided arrows if you are applying the structural equation modeling with the help of Amos. So, but this facility you can see we are not having in PLS. Okay. Another difference you can see here. You can see these are the error terms we connected from with each item. The error terms are also connected with the constructs, dependent constructs, endogenous construct. But in this case, there is no error term. You can see that there is no error term. No error term, right? So there is a concept in research. This concept is called endogeneity. And believe me, if you apply your model in PLS, and you will get the review that how you address the problem of endogeneity in PLS. So then you may think that what is this endogeneity? And many scholars ask me, not one, many, sir, I got one of the reviews that they are asking that how we address the concept of endogeneity. Okay, now what is this endogeneity? Right, this is one of the problem because everybody is getting the same query, that how you address the endogeneity in this PLS. So there are many questions like what is the endogeneity, how endogeneity is related to PLS. So this is one thing which we have to address. In layman term, I am telling you, endogeneity simply means uh, the dependent or endogenous construct you are considering in the structural model. How can you say all these independent constructs are enough to explain your endogenous construct? Can you say your model is perfect? Can you say all the independent constructs or the exogenous constructs are enough to address or to predict or to define the endogenous construct, right? So here you are having the facility of these error terms, and if the error terms are less, you can say that prediction is high. So basically what we are saying, the prediction power or the explanatory power, if these error terms are less, the explanatory power is high, right? So we have to address that how can we say this model is having high explanatory power, because in PLS we don't have the error term, so there is a problem of the goodness of fit, and you may not calculate most of the goodness of fit indices in PLS. So this is one of the issue that is coming, you have to face if you write a paper on PLS and send the paper for publication. Okay, so I hope you understand what is the difference between SAM, testing of the structural equation modeling in Amos, and testing of the structural model in PLS. So I discussed the difference between the two. Right now, we are going to start the way we can apply the theory, the structural models. One thing also I want to address here: what is the difference between the structural model and the measurement model? The measurement model, I'm giving you the answer. The measurement model is used to analyze the validity of the measurement scale. The measurement model that we did yesterday and day before yesterday, the purpose of measurement model is to check the validity, convergent validity and the discriminant validity. And with the help of common method bias, we can also measure the biasness. But a structural model is used to examine the hypothesis. Both of these models are used to examine the hypothesis, and the straight arrows, these straight arrows are representing whether and there is a significant effect of one construct on the another construct, right? So there are four straight lines in this. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So there are 4 straight lines in this model. Similarly, we have the 4 straight line in the model. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So there are 4 hypotheses we are examining with the help of Amos and PLS, right? So the purpose of structural equation modeling is to examine the, or is to test the hypothesis. So now I just want to ask you, are you with